Say hello.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to our day.
Welcome to our day.
Oh, good boy.
Our day, rock and roll.
That was the best. Good morning. So, I just came up the stairs with meds and stuff, and as I came up the stairs I was just like, oh my god, it's so hot, the heat's coming in, innit? And then, like, before I'd even finished my sentence, I looked over at Charlie and I was like, you're cold, aren't you? She's got goosebumps everywhere. She's wrapped in a blanket. So I've had to turn the fan down. And then there's me, who's just like going red because I'm so hot. Oh well, hopefully, because I've been like running around doing meds and everything, and there's like no breeze anywhere in the house apart from this bedroom because we've got the windows wide open and the fan on. Hopefully, when I sit down, I'll cool down. And then who knows, maybe even I'll have goosebumps. Who knows? Look at how okay with it she is.
I'm okay with it.
Huh? The paw print? We were doing the paw prints yesterday for the card, and Dixie ran away. Is it Dixie's? It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dixie ran away, and this is after we wiped it, which is hilarious because it came out that well on there. we got as much as we could see off of her feet before she ran away. But yeah, on the paper, it barely even came out, so we were just a bit offended by that, really. But never mind, it's still cute and it still worked. But anyway, meds are done. Hay fever feels really bad today on my part. Really bad. But yeah, so we're gonna go have some breakfast and chill until nap time.
My pen isn't touching it. I don't understand what's happening. This is confusing me. Pen is still not touching.
So I'm in the kitchen about to do tea. We're going to be having the aubergine ragu from Gusto because it needs to be used by today. I went to look to like gather all the ingredients together, and I got the ciabatta out, and I noticed that it's actually gone mouldy. So I've decided we're going to have a different meal today, and tomorrow I'm going to run and get some bread to have so that we can actually have the complete meal. But the thing that I wanted to share with you guys was the fact that because they've got a Gusto app, I went on the app and you can put on there whether you've got an issue with your box, and you can do that at any point until you've used everything in the box, and when you click on that bit to say you've got a problem, it asks you for like a specific recipe that it relates to, and then it asks you like the ingredient it relates to, and then it asks you to sort of say what's wrong with it and stuff. And so I did that and told them about the bread being mouldy, even though it says that today's the use by date kind of thing, so it should still be fine for today. And they've given me £2.50 off of the next purchase because as like a apology sort of thing. So I wanted to tell you guys that, because obviously if any of you guys do get Gusto boxes and you've got a problem, or you're worried that if something goes wrong it's going to be hard to contact them and get it sorted or whatever, that they've obviously like straight away sort of given us money off of the next box, and it's easy to report it as well. I mean, I don't know, obviously we've not been in a situation where like a main part of the meal's got a problem with it, and hopefully we won't get to that point, but I mean, so far, apart from this, everything's been absolutely perfect and everything's been fresh and amazing. And today I am going to be making the smoky black bean, pineapple and red onion tacos instead, and I'm going to bring you guys along, and I'm going to try and remember to record everything, but cooking is a lot of work for me, but yeah, so let's get to it.
just being cute as they are.
Of course, we've got one that's trying to do it on the floor, haven't we?
Would it be the normal floor?
No.
So, hi.
Didn't me.
But anyway, I'm hoping that the camera, when I edit the vlog, the stabilization feature is going to be okay, because the shakes are real tonight. But I decided it'd be time to do a letters from afar. You can't actually see it that bad on camera. Can you see it?
A little bit. Not like in real life, but a little bit.
This is it from a side angle. So it doesn't look as bad that way.
I mean,
but I think
it might be counteracting it, because you're shaking with both hands, so it,
yeah.
For some reason it's kind of making it stabilise. I would have thought it would have done the opposite and made it worse.
Oh goodness.
But, it's not.
But this is the first one I can find. I know we've got probably about another 4 of these letters. If you're new around here, these letters are basically this person called Isabel. Is it Isabel? Isabella? Yeah. Isabel, I think.
Isabel, I think.
She goes travelling around the world, well, she did before the pandemic, and she documented in these letters, and you can purchase them. She does amazing drawings with them, and you get stamps with them as well, which is always a bonus in my book. And they're just really, really cool. But we have had them stack up a little bit, because for some reason the vlogs have just been busy with a ton of other stuff. Yeah. So we will try and, well, I will try and read this. I will try and keep the paper still because the fan is on. I will try and keep the camera still because my hands are stupid. So yes, I will turn the camera around and we'll see what's inside. Bish just stole it out of my hands.
Did you take the letter?
Can I have this back?
No, that's mine. She wrote it to the whole family, Mum.
You're right, she did.
Now I know I'm not allowed it anymore. That's not working out.
Can you take it for me? Help Mummy. Can I have it? Well done! Oh, there's 2.
One's a map.
Oh, that's cool.
Little notes.
Well done, Alba. Thank you. So, that was fun. Is there any stamps? Not in this bit.
I didn't see any fly out.
I wonder if they are. Maybe in here?
If not, it may be because we've got the extra paper.
But stamps!
I know.
Oh. Stamps!
You might not have been able to get any, babe.
True. Good old pandemic. So, let's see how I do with this.
Something's happening.
Hi, Mum. Luxor, Egypt. Salam.
You said that so weird? You said Egypt weird.
It's because it looks like it's wrote weird.
I think it's because there's a big. I think it's because it's quite gappy.
Yeah, it just doesn't look like it's the right. Like the G and the Y look like they're the wrong way around. I know they're not.
Yeah, they're really not. But yeah, no, I know what you mean. It does look weird.
But Salam alaikum. Hello. Right. Let me see if I can. Oh, that's a bit close. So let's see how we do. As my rickety wooden felucca lazily drifted down the Nile River, there was barely any wind to fill its billowy sails. Yeah. I must have only been moving at a measly 2 miles per hour. I'll never arrive anywhere at this pace, I thought to myself. It had been a long day's journey and my canteen was down to its last drop of water. I glanced down into the river and could see a school of tigerfish just daring me to lay one finger into the water. Dixie, this is really it's bad enough with mistakes. Where did I get to? Into the water. The hot desert sun was beaming and the heavy shrill of cicadas filled the air. No. I hadn't seen a town in miles, and while I was hot and rather thirsty, I couldn't really think of a better place to be. You see, I am pleased to tell you I have arrived in Egypt. After some time, civilization came into view, and I could suddenly see all sorts of life on shore. I docked the sailboat and stepped...
Oh my god! She just put her foot right in here! Oh my god, you tried to kill me!
I tried to keep you alive!
Wow.
Right, I need to find where I was again now. Civilization came into view, and I could suddenly see all sorts of life on shore. I docked the sailboat and stepped onto the sandy earth to discover a lively town. Camels were tethered to hitching posts. Locals were peddling their carts of fresh dates and goods, and the afternoon call to prayer was being chanted from a nearby mosque. The city is called Luxor. Long ago, Luxor was known as Thebes to the Greeks, and was it to the Egyptians. It's thought by many to be the oldest inhabited town in the entire world. It lies in the scorching hot southern part of Egypt, and it's split in half by the Nile River. In ancient Egyptian times, Luxor was a thriving capital. Where did I go? City, where many pharaohs lived. I've studied the great land of history and mysteries that I'm pleased to say. Nope. God, you gotta love dyslexia. I've studied the great land of Egypt for some time, and Luxor is a place simply dripping with history and mysteries that I'm pleased to say I've spent the last several days exploring with some newfound colleagues. Fascinatingly, the city of Luxor has two sides. The east bank, or the side of life, is where the Egyptians lived and worked. There are temples, ruins of homes and villages. There are temples, ruins of homes and villages, and all sorts of evidence that the area was a bustling ancient Egypt civilization. But on the west bank, the side of the dead, there are only tombs. Dozens and dozens of... Hang on, I've got to change my hand. Tombs buried underground. Some belonged to the greatest rulers in all of Egypt, and some filled with unimaginable amounts of artifacts and treasure. I wanted to see it all, but I decided to start with the side of life and visit Luxor Temple on the East Bank. As I ventured down the avenue of sphinxes and gazed upon the giant seated pharaohs, thousands of etched hieroglyphs came into view. That's why I was like, hang on, it's hieroglyphics. Why does it not look right? But yeah, came into view. Some were carved deeply into the stone, depicting kings ruling over their land, their many gods, and their workers building their empires. It was astounding. The sheer size of the pillars and the thousands of years of stories carved into the walls stopped me in my tracks. It would take me ages to learn it all. Nevertheless, I sketched some hieroglyphs down in my field notes to study later. After a quick lunch of mashed fava beans and bread by the Nile's edge, I took a ferry over to the West Bank and rode by camel to the Valley of the Kings to learn more about the many tombs being unearthed. It was nighttime when I arrived, and I was pleased to see I wasn't the only curious soul on site. There were dozens of white canvas tents pitched by campfires and dig sites off in the distance. Some excavators were still working by lantern light. I joined a group of people who excitedly told me about the day's discovery. They were almost certain they had found the location of the legendary King Tut's tomb. King Tut's, isn't that Tutankhamun? Why are they calling them King Tuts? I've never heard, if it is, I've never heard of King Tut.
I have heard of it before, but it's not, unless it's a different king, I don't know.
That's not his name.
No.
Slightly confused. The next day, the archaeologist invited me to help with the dig. A man by the name of Carter was leading the job with the help of many local Egyptians. They dug and dug until one man shouted, and we all gathered to see him dusting off a large flat stone. He heaved it aside to reveal a stairway. The man ventured inside, followed by Carter, and the two exclaimed with the utmost excitement that they had finally found it. King Tutankhamun's tomb, the boy king.
It is, I googled it.
I've just never heard of them be called King Tut before. And I had a whole book on Egyptians. I think I've still got that book.
I think you have.
But anyway, do you like my plaster? It's unicorns and rainbows. The rest of the day was spent observing the many artifacts inside the chambers. A gold sarcophagus, ancient pottery, jewelry, statues, and much more. Carter later told me that they presumed there to be hundreds of tombs in the valley, just simply buried by time beneath the heaps of dirt and sand, each one with its walls filled with writing and glyphs. Holds the key to learning more about how the ancient Egyptians once lived, how they managed to build such an advanced empire so long ago. I could have stayed and helped for weeks, but alas, another adventure is calling me away. On a warm morning under a violet sunrise sky, I mounted my camel once again and ventured back to the Nile. Where to next? Why, wherever the wind will take me, if my sails can manage to catch the wind, that is. Your friend, Isabel. And then on the front, there is a little bit here that says Luxor Temple is believed to be almost 4,000 years old. The city itself is believed to be over 5,000 years old. Nope. Luxor Temple is believed to be almost 4,000 years old. The city itself is believed to be over 5,000 years old. But she hasn't put anywhere. Yeah, but I have noticed scattered around there's these, yeah, and I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can see 5 just looking at it quickly.
That was helpful, isn't it?
There's 6.
I got them all.
Now I know how many I'm looking for.
One of them's for really.
I found it. So I will start here and I'll scroll down. Let us know how many you can find in the comments, but don't state where they are, just state how many you can find. Obviously feel free to pause at any time. And I was just looking at this. So it is a map of where the letter is based, and then it says field notes, thoughts and observations. This is called a cartouche, I think. It might not be. In ancient Egypt, nope. In ancient Egypt, the oval filled with glyphs signified a royal name. This particular one is for King Tutankhamun, or King Tut, the youngest ruler of Egypt. He took the throne at just 8 years old. This is the Eye of Horus? I don't know if the H is pronounced on that one. My favourite Egyptian hieroglyph. It's a symbol of health and protection. King Tut's mask was discovered in his tomb. It's crafted from 22 pounds of solid gold and semi-precious stone. Date palms are one of Egypt's most important crops. Their sweet fruit is a staple in the desert diet. The Nile crocodile is the most dangerous animal in all of Egypt. It can grow up to 20 feet long and weigh over 2,000 pounds. Yeah, I'd rather not. So, let us know what you thought of the letter. Don't forget to let us know in the comments how many of the little I are hieroglyphics in the letter that you found. But yeah, just don't state where they are to allow other people to be able to see them as well. Someone's having good ear rubs. Bless her.
There's only so far you can lean.
But we are gonna chillax for a little bit and then it's time for bed.
Yes.
So thanks for coming on, Davis, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.